Candace Owens said this today.
That's how you build goodwill with the public. You take accountability. Like when we make honest mistakes on the show, we always own them. We always correct them as immediately as we have more information, as publicly as when we first asserted them.
Let me show you how hilarious this statement is coming from Candace Owens. So up until a week before the debate with Andrew Wilson, she was definitively saying that Lance Twiggs DNA was found on the rifle, pointing to this as evidence that Lance Twiggs was guilty of Charlie Kirk's murder.
Prints which are found on the gun, which of course included Lance Twiggs. More evidence that Lance Twiggs simply took Tyler Robinson's family heirloom of a gun and helped the feds set him up as a patsy. More of his DNA than Tyler's on the gun. That there is objectively more overwhelming evidence that Lance Twiggs did this crime. Lance Twiggs has his DNA on the rifle. Well, it's Tyler's rifle, but Lance's DNA is more prominent. How does that happen?
Except that this is blatantly wrong. Lance Twiggs' DNA has absolutely not been proven to be on the rifle. Let's count how many times Andrew Wilson tries to get Candace Owens to correct this on the record, and she doesn't take accountability.
Did they say who else had fingerprints on the gun?
They named Matt Robinson explicitly.
Okay.
And this was a part of the testimony where she was speaking about how they got samples.
So are you saying that Twiggs
Would you like me to
fingerprints?
finish my statement?
I just want to make sure I'm clarifying.
I'm trying to finish the answer, but it can't be clarified until the answer comes out of my mouth.
Are you claiming that these fingerprints were Lance Twiggs or that he had any DNA there?
I'm saying that it could be Matt Robinson, it could be Amber Robinson. That sort of information is going to come out during the trial.
Was Lance Twiggs' DNA on the rifle as far as you know?
We can't say that for certainty.
As far as you know.
I already answered that in the first part. We can't say that for certainty. I told you the context of which they spoke about those things.
So no, as far as you know.
We can't say that for certainty until we know what other the 5 sets of prints were on.
So that would be no as far as you know.
We can't say that for certainty.
You can say no as far as I know for certain.
We can't say that for certainty.
You can say that for certainty.
if your energy here is going to be like you're my dad and you can tell me how to speak or what I'm supposed to say, you're just going to come up against the wall.
Now, it's only at this point later in the debate where Andrew Wilson goes to pull up a clip of Candace Owens stating that Lance Twiggs' DNA was found on the rifle, when she suddenly gets incredibly defensive.
Twiggs' DNA clip.
Yeah.
And they're going to pull it up just to have you respond
well,
to it.
You don't have to play it because, like, if you're saying that when I initially watched it, I thought that Lance Twiggs' DNA, like, he was directly responding to that.
She is making excuses.
Because the testimony was a bit confusing. They started by saying that they were going to, like, explaining how they got the samples, and they said Lance, Matt, and Amber Robinson, how they got their DNA samples, and then they started speaking about the gun and said, multiple prints were found on them, and then they moved and they said Lance Twiggs' DNA was found on the screwdriver. When I went back and rewatched it, I realized, well, they haven't officially said that Lance or Amber are on the gun. But just to be clear, whenever I make a mistake, I just correct it.
The only reason that she corrected the record here with her confidently asserting that Lance Twiggs' DNA was on the rifle was because Andrew Wilson paid $300,000 to sit her down and confront her with that mistake. Do we really believe that he hadn't have done that she would have gone on her show and admitted that mistake? If so, then why didn't she?
That's how you build goodwill with the public. You take accountability. Like when we make honest mistakes on the show, we always own them. We always correct them as immediately as we have more information, as publicly as when we first asserted them. I had to rewatch testimony again. It's like 9 hours a day. It got very scientific when they were speaking about this.